Per an NFL.com report, Mason Rudolph has indicated that he'll be interested in a fresh start elsewhere. So, we all know Mason Rudolph, as of right now, going into next season, he's not going to be under a contract. He's going to be a free agent, and he has the opportunity to sign with any team that he wants to sign with. Whether that's a team that's going to give him a chance to be a starter, give him a chance to be a backup, or whatever. Mason Rudolph has a chance to leave the Steelers. And apparently, per NFL.com, they actually wrote an article about this, that Mason Rudolph has indicated that he may be leaving the Steelers and wants a fresh start with another team. Here's the quote from the article. Rudolph, who will be a free agent next month, has indicated he's interested in a fresh start after 6 seasons with the team that drafted him in the 3rd round in 2018. So, end quote. That quote was done by an NFL.com article. It's not just a random article. It was actually posted to NFL.com site. That means that there's writers for the NFL, and it was posted to their actual page. So those are sources. That's an insider writing the article. But obviously, we're going to have to wait to find out what actually happens when free agency starts. So many fans have indicated that they want Mason Rudolph back. Some fans think that he should leave. But if we're looking at it from both perspectives, why would Mason Rudolph want to leave, and why would Mason Rudolph want to stay? So I'm going to talk about why he would want to leave to begin with. So Mason Rudolph, as he enters free agency, he may be looking at this opportunity as, hey, I just won 3 straight games to end the season. I finally put some film on tape after 2 years, and I led my team to the playoffs. We're doing so bad with Mitchell Trubisky. I came in, I finally got my shot, haven't played in 2 years, and I showed what preparation has done. The preparation met the opportunity, and the opportunity led to success. So I'm going to leave this team. I'm going to go find another team that hopefully gives me a chance to become a starter, or at least gives me an opportunity to compete for a starting job. That would be the mindset, I believe, of Mason Rudolph. Leaving this team and go meeting himself and finally receiving market value. Because there's some team out there, whether that's the Steelers, whether that's a different team, that's going to look at that 3-game stretch that Mason Rudolph put on film, seen him finally put up points in a Steelers offense that was terrible all season, and give him either backup quarterback money or a starter minimum level money. And that's finally going to be the first big deal Mason Rudolph could get in his career. Because you look at Mason Rudolph, other than his rookie contract, he has not signed that extra contract, meaning that he's not got paid at a high level other than that rookie deal. He came in and he got a minimum level contract after his rookie deal was done 2 years ago last season. He was back on a 1-year deal, minimum level deal. He never got the extra contract in which other people signed, in which Mitchell Trubisky signed to become the Steelers backup, which was a 3-year, like $18 million deal, I believe, or something like that. So he never got that extra level contract since his rookie deal, and he could leave the Steelers to go get that. Or if the Steelers give it to him, he may sign it here. Who knows? But that's kind of probably the perception that Mason Rudolph is giving off in terms of leaving the Steelers. And that would be the reason why I believe he would want to leave. Also, he has no reason to stay with the Steelers. He has no reason to have an obligation to re-sign with them because of how they treated him in the past. So you look at Mason Rudolph, and he came in to be the backup to Ben Roethlisberger. He was drafted in the 3rd round for a reason, someone to overtake Ben Roethlisberger eventually. So Big Ben went down with that elbow injury we all know, and then Mason Rudolph was a starter. Mason Rudolph was a starter, but that was short-lived because they kept benching him for Duck Hodges. What guy you know is going to be the franchise guy, or at least someone who they think could have a chance to be, is going to be benched for an undrafted guy, and then continuously kind of switching quarterback roles and then not knowing your role in the team. Like, for example, Kenny Pickett. He was not great, but the Steelers always stuck with him at the quarterback spot. They never really benched him unless he got injured, and then they rode out Mason Rudolph the rest of the season. They never benched him when he was playing poorly. But when Mason Rudolph was quarterback, they continuously benched him for undrafted guy in Duck Hodges, who we both know was not going to be the franchise guy. He was just kind of a filler role. So Mason Rudolph wasn't really given a clear chance. And then after that, his role in the team went down significantly. And then Ben Roethlisberger finally retired. And maybe that would have been Mason Rudolph's chance to finally get a role on this team. Nope, they drafted Kenny Pickett and then they signed Mitchell Trubisky. And what did that do to Mason Rudolph? That put him all the way down to the third stringer's role. And he was inactive on game day basically all season. So his role in the team was basically none. He went from a guy who's drafted in the third round, supposed to be someone who's going to take over for Big Ben once he retires, to going to being a third stringer and being behind two quarterbacks that were really unproven in this league. And one of them, which is turnover prone. I understand, obviously, Kenny Pickett, drafted in the first round, he's going to be the starter. But having Mitchell Trubisky and signing him to a huge contract to become the starter and then become the backup when Mason Rudolph was already on the team, that must not feel good for Mason Rudolph to be the third quarterback and be inactive all season. So he really has no obligation to sign with the Steelers. And then we've seen Mitchell Trubisky, whenever he did get the opportunity to play, he was just never a good quarterback. And it took so long for Mason Rudolph to finally get in the game. It took chance from the actual crowd in Pittsburgh when playing at home to put in Mason Rudolph, a chance of Mason Rudolph's name, for Mike Tomlin to finally play him. And then he went off and led the Steelers to the playoffs. So it took all that just to get Mason Rudolph in the game and to finally bench Mitchell Trubisky. So he must not feel good about his role on the team, and he could be leaving for a fresh new start elsewhere where he might actually get an opportunity. We heard already in Mike Tomlin's press conferences, Art Rooney's press conferences, that hey, yes, they want Mason Rudolph back, that there's going to be competition at the quarterback spot, but there's always that talk. There's going to be competition, but then we all know who's really going to win the starting job. Kenny Pickett. If he's on the team and then no other quarterback is brought in, and just say they retain Rudolph, we all know Kenny Pickett is going to win that quarterback job, just based off him being a first-round draft pick alone, and they don't want to show that that was a mistake. So Mason Rudolph, even though there's competition talk, he's not going to be able to win it unless he moves to a different team that's already going to give him the opportunity to be the starter in negotiation talks. So that moves over to the next point. Why would Mason Rudolph want to stay with the Steelers? So the only reason why I can really think of him staying with the team that many people think has done him dirty throughout his career. I know some of you in my comments always say that he should leave for a fresh new start, just like how this article has indicated, because the Steelers do him dirty. Why would he want to stay? Well, the reason why I think he may want to stay is because, just say he's thrown the contract that Mitchell Trubisky was gotten when he signed to become the Steelers starter and eventually backup with the team. The Steelers obviously released Mitchell Trubisky, so they're going to be looking for another quarterback. If they don't go out and trade for one, sign one in terms of Ryan Tannehill or a veteran backup, maybe they just want to bring in Mason Rudolph back, and maybe they sign him to the contract that Mitchell Trubisky was just cut from. Maybe they give him that contract, and that's going to be the first contract Mason Rudolph really gets. That's a 3-year deal. So maybe he comes back under that contract because of that. And maybe another reason why he would want to stay is because maybe Mike Tomlin, maybe he said there's actual real competition, and it's not that fake QB competition talk. Maybe it's actual competition. Many of the players have advocated for Mason Rudolph towards the end of that late last season, saying they want Mason Rudolph to come back, be the starter next season. I know Deontay Johnson fully out said he wants Mason Rudolph to win the starting job next season. So the players are going to be behind him. And if the players are behind him, Mike Tomlin can't just completely shut that down. And if he's actually given a full opportunity, then maybe, just maybe, he'll be able to sign with the Steelers. And if he's going to go to a different team, that team has really no reason to want to play him, especially as a backup. But with the Steelers, they at least seen what he could do. late towards the end of last season. So just say Kenny Pickett does start off terrible. Maybe they do move to Mason Rudolph. Maybe that's a reason why Mason Rudolph would stay, because they've seen what he did late last season, that players seen what they did late last season, and maybe the fans will chant his name again if the Steelers do poorly, and maybe he will get in the game. So that's the reason why I could see that Mason Rudolph does stay or does go. But with that being said, let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on the situation and this article being wrote that Mason Rudolph does want a fresh start somewhere else. Do you believe he should get a fresh start somewhere else because of the way Steelers have treated him? Or do you believe he should stay with the team? Do you want him to stay? Do you want him to go? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if you like Steelers content analysis reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications, click that bell down below so you never miss out whenever I cover reports and news and rumors like this. And I'm going to start doing more film breakdowns as draft season and free agency begins. I cover everything Steelers. You want to stay up to date during the off season? I'm here for it. So turn on notifications for this channel, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.